going on, Megan here. Haven't made one of these videos in a while. I always start off, but this one is very important. And you saw the title. It's here to the point. It's about the Baltimore riots, right? I've stayed silent during the Ferguson thing. I've stayed silent with the protests in New York prior to that. I spent 12 years of my life in New York. I stay silent on a lot of things because I normally voice them on Facebook or Instagram. Or I just try to stay quiet. But I figured, you know what? Let me at least put my opinion out there, because who knows? Somebody might watch this video, share it, I don't know, and it might start something. At least I have hope, right? You gotta have hope, right? So when you think, oh, who does he think he is? Nobody. It doesn't matter. You just it's like playing poker, right? It's better to bluff and keep betting than to fold. If you fold, you lose. If I don't make this video, then nothing's gonna change. If I make it, at least I have a 0.001% chance of something happening. But that's what people out there listen, right? Now let me get straight to the point, right? I'm not gonna. It's not about the riots. It's not about the police abuse and blah blah blah. We all face it. Especially if you're black, right? Every black person can come here and just tell that that part of the story of the shit that we face every single day. Just driving, stopping at stop signs like I just did. Keeping the rules of the road and still getting pulled over for dumbass reasons. But so it's not about that. The video's not to bitch about what black people go through and blah blah. It's to point out the bigger picture. Like I said, it's not the police abuse, even though that's there. Don't get me wrong. It's not about the riots and the protests and blah blah blah, the violence, whatever. It's part of the bigger issues. It's kind of like I compare everything to plants. You guys know me. I compare everything to plants because they're simple, they're easy to understand, and we're very similar to plants. When a plant has an issue that you first notice by seeing the fruits or the leaves looking funny, whatever, you don't try to treat every individual leaf, right? What do? You go to the root, right? Most of the time the problem is at the root. You dig in the ground, you look at the root, and you try to see what is the original problem, what is the genesis of the issue, and you fix that. Once you fix that, eventually it goes from bottom up, and then the plant is renewed and the leaves come out normal, the fruits come out normal. So you don't want to fight the battle by picking at each fucking leaf. Or let me fix this leaf, it looks funny. Let me fix this leaf, it looks funny. No, you go to the root, you find out what the source of the problem is, whatever it is, you fix it at the root, and you just let time play its course, right? That's the best way to approach any problem. Any problem is to always find the root. Always find out what are the problems. Same thing with cancer. You don't want to treat the symptoms of cancer. You don't want to say, oh, that person is losing weight, let's feed them more. That person is in pain, give them morphine, whatever. You go to the root, you find out, oh, it's this fucking cell that's acting up. This cell is cancerous, the DNA structure is fucked up. And you try to, treat or destroy the cancerous cell at the root. You skip the symptoms. You go straight to the root. Right? And that's what fixes the problem. I could give you a million different examples. You always go for the head of the snake. So what is the root of this issue here? Black people, we need to create value for ourselves. We need to create value for ourselves. I mean, yes, we could talk about history, right? We could talk about, oh yeah, they did this to us, they did this to us. Yes, you're right, these are facts. But then what? Then what? Bitching about what was done in the past is not going to change the future. It sounds cliched, but it's so simple that people miss it. Pointing out what they did in the past, it's good for you to know these things, don't get me wrong, but reminding them that all the time, it's not going to fix the issue. Yes, we know what's been done. Let's learn from that and let's move on. How? What's the solution? Because most people just expose the issue but never give a solution. Create value for ourselves. Why do we always wait for white people or brown people or whoever to make everything right before we move on? That means you are limiting your fate to the decision, you're putting your fate in the hands of somebody else pretty much. If you're saying, well, I'm waiting for racism to stop before I do this, I'm waiting for this to get better, then pretty much you putting your goals and your future and your legacy and the legacy of your descendants in the hands of somebody else that doesn't like you, right? I'm not talking to all white people. Obviously, some white people love us, right? But I'm talking about, the opposition in general. Why do you wait for the fields to be even? Why do you wait for a level playing field before you take action? No, the thing is, people want life to be fair when life is not fair. Life is not fair, motherfuckers. It's not. If you haven't realized that by now, I'm telling you now, life is not fair. It will never be fair. It hasn't been fair for the last, I don't know how many million years you believe the earth has been around, or humans have been around. I don't fucking care. And it won't be fair in the next 10 years. It's survival of the fittest and those that can innovate. If you cannot create value for yourself, if you cannot innovate, if you cannot adapt to the situation, you cannot adapt to the change in the climate, in the political climate, the social climate, you will be extinct. Do not sit there and wait the opposition to change or to accept you or to say sorry for what they've done. It's not gonna happen. It might happen. It'll be nice if it happens. But why would I put my destiny on the line and in the hand of the opposition? Start moving. Start going against the current. If you have to, do whatever it is to get from point A to point B. We need to create value for ourselves, and we need to stop waiting for a level playing field. It's nice to hope for it. It'll be nice if it's here, but that's not what conquerors do. Conquerors go forward regardless of what's in front of them. I always use this example, and I'm using it a million times. If you give a white person, say you have to go from point A to point B, right? Point B is obviously success, happiness, whatever the fuck people want, right? And you give the white person a car, you give the Chinese person a motorcycle, you give the Indian person a fucking tank, I don't know, whatever. And you give the black person, which is me, for example, you give me a unicycle. Fucking unicycle. You know what a unicycle is? Google it. Google that shit, right? You see what it looks like, right? And you say, hey, you guys, there goes success over there. Get there, you're on your own. Is it fair? Of course it's not fucking fair. White homie got a fucking Mustang and shit. China man got his fucking Harley Davidson or whatever. And you give me a unicycle. But guess what? I'm gonna ride that shit. I'm gonna ride that shit till that one wheel falls off. And if it falls off, I'm gonna run. Right? If I can't run anymore, I'm gonna crawl. Because at least point B is open. It's in front of me. The way to get there is there. And I'm comparing this to America right now. The opportunities are there. The opportunity to get to the top for black people is there. The books are there. The knowledge is there. The internet is there. Google is there. YouTube is there. All the information you need to get to the top is there. Yes, racism is going to make it so you get this slower than a white person or somebody else, which is the example of the unicycle and all that stuff. The white guy might get there first because of his Mustang, but I'm still going to get there if I keep riding my unicycle. That's the point I'm trying to make to you guys is, yes, things are not equal. Yes, things are on the way to getting equal, but don't wait. What if it takes 30 years? You're going to wait 30 years for things to get equal before you start moving? Ride your unicycle, black man, black woman, ride your fucking unicycle. Whatever it is you could use to get to the top. And let's say halfway along the road, something happens to the white guy in the Mustang, and he gets out of his car. He's like, oh, I don't want this anymore. Then get on the car. Pretty much take whatever you can that's in front of you, legally, obviously, to get to your destination. But what if I sat there and said, wait a minute, that's success? You giving him a car, you giving him a motorcycle, you giving me a unicycle? I'm not going. That's racism. That's not fair. I'm gonna sit there and wait. Then I'm gonna sit there and wait, motherfucker, and die. And that's what black people are doing. They're just waiting for things to get better before they move. Move before things get better. And I get so angry about that because I'm passionate. It's my people. Let's face it, I'm not happy with all the things that black people do, obviously. But yeah, it's still my people. It's in my blood. Like I always say, I'm a word, I'm a citizen of the world. Everyone is my brother. Everyone is my sister. But I relate with black people because I'm fucking black, man. I grew up around the same circumstances. That's why I get so irritated about this. Why do we always wait for things to get better before we make moves? Why? Ride your unicycle. Eventually down the road, you might see a bike that's been abandoned there. Pick up their bike and keep riding. Eventually you might see a car that's there, that's free for sale, whatever. Grab it, keep going until you get to your destination. It's not about who gets there first. It's about getting there eventually, right? The opportunity for any black person, and especially if you're in America or in a developed country, the opportunity for you to succeed is so much higher than it was 50 years ago. So much higher. I told you guys, just let's just talk about money, for instance, right? I did some statistics, right, on millionaires and billionaires and things like that. And one outside of the world, I think there's a millionaire for every 580 people, right? So in fact, theoretically, on paper, your chances to be a millionaire just outside of the U.S., just around the world in general, is 1 for every 580 person. 1 out of 580, which is pretty, it's pretty competitive if you think about it. When you're in America, that chance is reduced to 1 for every 33 people. There's a millionaire for every 30 people on average in America. So the meaning you count on average 30 people, you might find somebody who's a millionaire, close to a millionaire, as far as asset, net worth, and things like that, whatever. It's just being in America drastically increases your chances from 1 for every 580 for 1 in every 30. So just being in America, you have so much opportunity. And I'm not saying, this is only for people in America. Even if you're around the world, you still have that chance to get to the top. How do I know that? Because people have done it. If somebody has done it, you could do it. And stop giving me excuses, because everybody has excuses. Everybody has them. Right? You guys know my story. That's why I hate excuses, because I crush so many excuses. I got fucking 3 jobs. I had 4 jobs at one point. I'm a full-time college student. Raising a kid, all that shit, managing a YouTube channel, doing bodybuilding, all these things. But yeah, I still find time to read. I still find time to educate myself. I still find time to go to school, do my homework, take care of my body, you know, as hard as it is, because obviously my time is limited, I still find time to do my daily routine with 6-8 hours a day. So what excuses do you have, right? We need, oh shit, I hope the video's still playing. Oh yeah, we need to create value for us. Right now I'm on my way to work, by the way, so this video is gonna cut short, but we need to find value for ourselves. Protesting is not, I mean, obviously the looting, don't even get me started on the looting, because most of the people that are violently looting and destroying shit, they don't give a fuck about Freddie Gray, right? Chances are, if he would have been walking around the streets a few months ago, he would have probably got jumped by the same people that are looting, or they would try to play the knockout game on him, whatever. The ones who are really like hurting innocent people, you know, calling that protest, they're not protesting. They were just waiting for a catalyst. They were waiting for a catalyst to do what they always wanted to do, which is fucking loot and destroy and bullshit. The ones who really care about Freddie Gray are approaching this protest in a whole different way, and obviously it's unfortunate the media doesn't show them, but you could tell. So don't put all the protesters in the same basket. You know, don't say, oh, look what the protesters are doing. No, they're not all doing that shit. So don't even get me started on the ones who are hurting innocent people and shit. They don't give a fuck about Freddie Gray. They were just waiting for a catalyst. You could go to first of all, I saw people looting liquor stores and shit, right? What the fuck does that have to do with fucking Freddie Gray? What is drinking mad liquor illegally has to do with Freddie Gray? They don't give a fuck. You could go up to them and be like, hey, what's that guy's name you protesting for? They'll be like, Freddie Mac? What? They don't even know what the fuck his name is. So don't put all the protesters in one basket. You know, they're all obviously different. But the point I'm trying to make is destroying shit, burning shit. In fact, some of the people that are even burning buildings, you don't even know. Maybe the owner of that business or that building is probably on the side of Freddie Gray. You don't even know when you're destroying property in your own neighborhood. So don't even get me started on the looting. People ask me, what's your opinion on the looting? That's what I think about the looting. I would never justify that shit, right? Obviously, you know, there's a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, things like that, but directing it towards people that did nothing, or that might have even been there when the Freddie Gray incident happened and probably recorded it or whatever, why would you go and destroy their businesses? I'm not saying they're all on the same basket, but still, you know, just let's stay away from the whole, Jonathan, what do you think about the looting, whatever, because it just makes me upset, right? Because it has nothing to do with the issue. The conclusion of this is we need to find value for ourselves. We need to find our own value. If you have value, you'll be respected, right? Michael Jordan, he's black, right? As much as NBA commissioners or whoever you want to call it, if people hated him in the NBA, they still had to respect him and keep him on contract. Why? Because he had value. Tiger Woods, I'm pretty sure a lot of people hate him. The people up top, you know, the fucking people that control the things that are going on. I'm pretty sure the billionaires or a lot of people out there don't like him, but they don't have a fucking choice. He has value. He brings money. I'm not saying money is the only form of value. It's the biggest form in the world that we live in, but he brings value, right? Find your own value. Find something you're good at. Find a craft, a talent, a skill, a gift, and make this person say, we're waiting for jobs. Why is there not jobs? Create a fucking job, man. Go to YouTube, start a channel, do something, start marketing your gifts, find a way to generate income. Let the politicians be politicians. If they create jobs, good for them. Good for you, even better. But don't be caught waiting for them to make a move on your life. Oh shit. Oh shit, this video is long as fuck. I'm sorry guys, this video is longer than I expected. It's just, as you can tell, I'm very emotional about it. I gotta go to work, but the point I'm trying to make is, once again, we need to create value for ourselves. I look at all the people that were facing racism, the Jews, even Asian people, the Chinese, all these people. They go into countries that face racism, but a few years later, you see them having a business, right? They grow in spite of that. You gotta be like a plant. A plant is probably one of the weakest things, right? So easy to destroy, but yet when it's willing, it can crush through fucking concrete, guys. You see plant growing on the fucking floor. That's concrete, motherfuckers, but it finds cracks and ways to break through because it has that will. As long as you have your will, it doesn't matter what opposition is in front of you. It doesn't matter how much the racism or the concrete of racism, whatever, you can break through it. Have a will. Stop finding excuses. That plant doesn't say, oh, that's not fair. All the other plants are growing, and why I gotta have concrete above me? It breaks through that shit. Activate your KUK, your fucking alpha mode, whatever it needs to be. Activate that shit and grow. Create value for yourself, and you say you'll be respected. They have no choice but to respect you. I always say, don't be good enough for them to accept you. Be so great that they can't ignore you. Team3DAlpha, I'm out of here. Yo, come on, son. Anyway, so I was like, yo, Hansa, let's make a video and show them how we came up with these insiders. And we spent like the last 10 minutes laughing. The first one is, you have to chill.